Hello and welcome back. Episode 2 of season 3 of Sorcerous, Orphen. This did not go the way I thought it was going to go, even slightly. Sorry, I should put my water out of the frame. I expected the solution to be that the tycoon, the person in charge, was setting the fire and was using the monkeys to get rid of the people so that they wouldn't know about it, and was like setting all the onsens on fire so that he could drive them out of business and he could buy up their land. But no, it is a million times weirder than that. And I don't know how the author ever came up with what he came up with, but first and foremost, Orphen and Dorton, the younger child, who I can't believe I remember his name. They go into the forest to look for these ruins, and they are attacked by the monkeys. And Orphen immediately realizes that these monkeys are using some kind of like spatial magic to make it look like you're dead. But in reality, it doesn't hurt. It still moves, and you're perfectly fine. I suspect it's just to scare people away. Although I'm surprised he didn't immediately kill the other traveler too. But he beats the monkey, and he just immediately is able to put on his hand perfectly fine, because the monkey cuts off his hand. So obviously, I think it's Vulcan. The older brother is perfectly fine. Cleo and Magic go to break into the tycoon's place because they obviously think he's the culprit. And they find Vulcan. Vulcan drops a book which he stole. Because as I predicted, and as Orphen realizes, he stole all of their stuff. So basically, he has their money. Because the innkeeper decides that she's not going to let them stay there rent-free anymore, even though she was like in the room when the daughter told them they could stay for free in exchange for chores, and she could have just said no. But for some reason she didn't. And now she's saying, no, you gotta pay for it. And Orphen gives her his sword, which is a very stupid idea, as we will very, very well soon learn, as collateral until they can figure out how to get money. So, he drops a book about spatial magic, which he stole from somebody, and Cleo picks it up, and she and Ian Magic, and I don't know if Vulcan is too, they are immediately transported into these ruins. And this is where things get really, like, what were they smoking? So they end up in these ruins. Also, I forgot to mention that Eris has gone missing for whatever reason. And they find her, and they find this weird room with all these crystals, and in the middle of the room is this blob in a crystal, and Eris is transported inside one of the crystals, and it's actually the mother who's the culprit, because earlier in the episode they told a story about how the tycoon was not happy with the fact that his son was marrying a girl he didn't like, and I immediately knew that girl was the mother, because I'm like, there's no other character in this that girl could be. It's the mother. So, and it's not the daughter, except she's not actually her daughter. We'll get to that. But yeah, she's the person, and he went, the guy who she was in love with went into the ruins in order to research it, and like got swallowed by this blob monster. And every once in a while she needs to feed somebody to this blob monster, like Aubrey 2, in order to keep it alive. It's so insane. I actually kind of admire it, that it's so nuts that you would never think of it. So, like, kudos to this show. And the the daughter is actually a clone of her, which she, like, formed a la Code Realize. And what? What? Like, I have no words for this. This is so nuts that I actually kind of love it. It's like, it's so weird. It completely derails from the plot because remember they're going to find Ozzy, but this is just okay. Okay, so we now have cloning and like blob monsters, and how does Eris survive as a clone if her original is not alive anymore? Because at the end, the original gets swallowed up by the blob, and like I don't know. I don't know. I have no. I can't. This was not on my bingo card. This was absolutely not on my bingo card. But you know what? I enjoy this show for what it is. It's weird. It's wonderful. And it's a nice little diversion to ease us back into the show without having to dive us right back into the plot. Also, I find it funny that Shotaro is the narrator and Orphen. So he's talking about Orphen in third person while he also plays Orphen, and I find that very weird. Also, I forgot to mention at the end of the last episode that the opening is actually a banger. I'm not crazy about his singing voice, but this season's opening is actually really good. But next week, I think we're gonna go back to the regular plot. So